Former NCT's Taeil pleads guilty to having physical relations with a woman without her consent, and prosecutors want him in prison. Meanwhile, Haknyeon has been kicked out of the Boyz after shocking rumors and viral photos with a former adult actress. Let's get into the full story. On June 18th, the first trial for former NCT Taeil's crime case took place, more than a year after the incident occurred. In August 2024, SM Entertainment announced that Taeil would no longer be a member of NCT due to being charged with then unspecified crime, and was later removed as an artist from the company. The former idol was not detained by police after the investigation began. According to legal sources, the Seoul Central District Prosecutor's Office's Women and Children's Crime Investigation Division indicted Taeil and two accomplices on February 28, 2025. On charges of having non-consensual physical relations with a woman under the Act on the Punishment of Crimes. They were accused of using force to have physical relations with a vulnerable victim, an intoxicated foreign woman, in June 2024. After the prosecution shared these accusations, Taeil and the two accomplices admitted guilt to having physical relations with a non-consenting victim. Prosecution has demanded a 7-year prison sentence for each of the perpetrators. Prosecution also shared details related to the case, including the timing of the case, the defendant's attempt to hide the case, and the nationality of the victim. Prosecution stated that Taeil and the other defendants, who were close with each other, met the victim, who they did not know prior, at a bar in Itaewon on June 13, 2:33 a.m. The group drank together. Then the defendants forced the victim into a taxi, where they headed to one of the defendants' residence in the Bangbei district of Seoul. There, between the time of 4 a.m. and 4:30 a.m., the defendants collectively, without the woman's consent, had physical relations with her while she was unconscious and drunk. They continued, explaining that it took 2 months for police to analyze CCTV footage to properly track the movements of the defendants. They asserted that the crime committed was not a spontaneous crime, citing messages sent between the defendants where they acknowledged the victim was a foreigner, and even sending messages confirming they intended to manipulate the taxi's GPS so that the location data would indicate a different location than where the crime occurred. During the trial, Taeil and his legal counsel asked for leniency from the court, citing an agreement made with the victim. Taeil submitted a statement of self-surrender to the police. He also went through the difficult process of reaching an agreement with the victim, who is Chinese, and even received a letter from the victim stating she did not want further punishment levied. However, the prosecution was not buying Taeil's defense, claiming that the validity of Taeil's statement of self-surrender was questionable at best, wondering whether Taeil's statement submission qualifies as genuinely surrendering to the police. Taeil is currently being investigated without detention, as the court determined that due to the 3 defendants admitting to their crimes, they were unlikely to flee or destroy evidence. When asked about his current status, Taeil stated, "I used to be a singer but was expelled from my company. I'm now working part-time." His lawyer added that he is currently making a living by helping out at a friend's restaurant. On June 14th, just a day after the crime occurred, Taeil went live on Instagram for his birthday, where he greeted fans. The former idol played piano, smiled, and laughed while discussing his future plans. Netizens that made the connection have expressed rage over the idol's actions, now knowing he committed a crime hours before. Someone on X, formerly Twitter, responded to this by saying, "Going on live after you intoxicated someone and took advantage of her is so disgusting. I hope you serve the longest time in jail, Taeil." Netizens were absolutely in shock at the sordid details of the case. On social media, these are some of the responses. "This is insane. I can't believe it even after reading it. SM usually tries to cover things up, but for them to cut ties so quickly, I figured it would be something serious, but wow, this is beyond imagination. Wow, that crazy bastard. WYM, he has to scrape up a living through part-time jobs? He has so much money earned previously. Crazy. What did he do? Crazy. I honestly hope that justice is served and he does not get off easy. The victim deserves justice." Now, let us move on to the story. Haknyeon is officially no longer a member of the Boyz, and his contract with 100 label has been terminated. The decision came in the wake of reports revealing that the idol had a private encounter with former Japanese adult film actress Kirara Asuka. Their late-night interactions in Tokyo sparked a lot of controversy. According to reports, Joo Haknyeon was spotted with Kirara Asuka at a bar in Roppongi, Tokyo, on May 29, 2025. He was reportedly accompanied by acquaintances during the outing. Witnesses claim the two spent the evening drinking together, with interactions that included hugging and moments of physical closeness. At one point, Kirara was seen resting her chin on Joo Haknyeon's shoulder. Who is Kirara Asuka? Kirara Asuka made her debut in Japan's AV, adult video, industry in 2007 and retired in 2020. Since stepping away from adult entertainment, she has rebranded herself as an influencer and media personality, building a considerable following in Japan. Prior to the scandal breaking, Joo Haknyeon had unexpectedly announced a temporary hiatus from the Boyz' activities. The timing raised questions, which have now been partially answered by the unfolding situation. Cha Ga-won, chairwoman of 100 label, the agency representing the group, has issued a formal apology and taken responsibility for the incident. She said, "We deeply apologize for causing concern to fans and the general public due to the recent situations involving our artists and team members." She acknowledged the agency's shortcomings by stating, "We humbly accept that we failed to properly manage our artists' private lives and conduct. Through this incident, we have come to fully recognize the weight of our responsibility and are reflecting deeply." Cha Ga-won also promised to implement systemic changes. She said, "We will strengthen our management framework regarding artists' private lives and overall conduct, enhance ethical awareness through education, and improve our internal systems. Moving forward, we will take a more responsible approach, not only to the activities of our artists, but also to all surrounding factors, in order to regain and maintain the trust of fans and the public." Joo Haknyeon has shared a handwritten apology in which he firmly denied the reports of him paying someone to have physical relations with him. Joo Haknyeon's full letter is as follows. "Hello, this is Joo Haknyeon. First, I apologize to the fans who must have been greatly shocked by the news about me, as well as everyone whom I gave cause for concern through this unsavory matter. In the wee hours of the morning of May 30th, 2025, I attended a private gathering with alcohol together with an acquaintance. And while it is true that I was at that gathering, it is completely false that I engaged in any illegal activity, such as that is being mentioned in news reports and rumors. I am deeply reflecting on my actions, and I would like to sincerely apologize to everyone who was shocked by this matter." People have been reacting to Joo Haknyeon's departure from the group on X, formerly Twitter. Someone wrote, "The concept of Haknyeon leaving the group that was basically created for him is low-key crazy." Another person lamented, "Haknyeon didn't survive PD 101, the building, the hate, just for them to use his name to promote the Boyz pre-debut, because they knew people would tune in for him. He carried that group on his back. 100 was supposed to be a fresh start for them, but obviously it isn't. This Joo Haknyeon issue is quite crazy, but more details are coming out, and one thing about the truth is that it always comes out. Subscribe so I will keep you updated with the drama, because it definitely is not over." Thank you for listening. Make sure to eat well and take care of yourself. See you in the next video.